in the vast desert. What is a man waiting for? His breathing was heavy, but the moon's footsteps were light, like facing a formidable enemy. Then, the dust in the sky indicates that something huge is coming from a distance. It crossed thousands of meters of plains in less than 10 seconds, came in front of the man. The behemoth crashed through the high sand dune where he stood, but the man doesn't want to let it go. He quickly ran towards the gap where its body was. Before it leaves, he jumped down. In a wild sandstorm, the audience watched anxiously for a long time. Finally, in the blurred vision, a small figure, standing upright on the sandworm. They cheered. The man who tamed the planet.
最狂暴的怪兽.
Sandworm. In the worldview of Dune, sandworms are giant creatures that live deep in the desert. They can exceed 450 meters in length and 40 meters in diameter. They can live for thousands of years, and traveling at high speed deep underground. The desert is the ocean they invite to swim, but such a giant. But he has extremely keen senses. Any rhythmic vibration can attract sandworms, even one's lightest footsteps. They can also catch, in order not to disturb them. Aboriginal people walking in the desert will use a unique desert pace. Like a dance, let your pace be chaotic. It's like the sound of sand and dust being blown by the wind, so that the sandworm ignores. But if unfortunately you create a rhythmic sound, sandworms will quickly come to the surface from deep underground. After reaching the source of the sound, it will open its bloody mouth. Densely packed teeth, slender and hard. They also have strong digestive capabilities. Even an excavator truck several dozen meters tall can be swallowed alive. On this planet covered by endless yellow sand, there are still a group of aborigines, freemen. They regard sandworms as lords of the desert, and worship it as a god. Sandworm is a deformed product of nature. It is said that this planet called Arrakis, once full of water, and the precursor creature of sandworm. Sandbooks are not creatures of this planet. Sand trout eat large amounts of microorganisms and water, produce spices. A large amount of water in the area is absorbed. Sen 5 Ori Pit's land will become barren and then desertified. Gathering a small number of sand cod will turn into sandworms. L.Lock.Vice only a small portion of sand will mutate and become sandworms. Therefore, the planet Arrakis became the dunes it is today. It is precisely because of the existence of sandworms. Sandworms are now roaming all over the planet. Make the whole planet more and more dry. Muscles cartilage on the inside. This protects the sandworm, but more importantly supports the inner crop mouseweight. Lower dermis. Crop mouseweight. Lower dermis gizzard eats the microorganisms in the desert for a living. Such a barren land. There is such a beast again. Why do humans still move to it, and not removing sandworms? Because the spices produced by sandworms, the most expensive thing in the universe today. Spices are a divine thing. Humans taking spices can prolong life and enhance body functions. Some people even gain certain superpowers. At the same time, spices are like oil on the earth, allowing humans to achieve rapid interstellar travel. Who controls spices? Who controls the universe? So, spices have become a coveted resource in the human world. Arrakis has also become a battleground for many forces. Overt and covert fighting, crisis war, all because the spices are on the verge of breaking out. Therefore, human beings are constantly attacking this planet. Therefore, when humans see sandworms, even if you are afraid, you still regard him as the god of wealth. Hundreds of years before the first Dune, the people who control Arrakis are the Harkonnens. This is a hairless, perverted, violent race. They keep a giant spider pet. The spider's head and hands are both human. On the sand dunes, the Harkonnen tyrannize, loot spice resources, killing aboriginal people. This is AD 10191. Humanity has colonized large areas of the universe, but humans in this era. But it was still the political structure of imperial rule. An empire controls all the families, and each family has its own side, become different local forces. The Harkonnen tribe is a large family that occupies the sand dunes. Because of the sand dunes, they made a lot of money. At the same time, the power of the became a threat to the central power of the empire. At the same time, a big family on another planet. The momentum is also good, and it is booming. This is the good-natured Atreides family. And the Emperor saw that the reputation of the Atreides family was getting better and better. We also see the Harkonnen tribe becoming increasingly arrogant. Jealousy took over his heart. So I used a trick. Remove Harkonnen jurisdiction over the dunes. Let the Atreides take over. This move almost pushed the Atreides family into a pit of fire. They show loyalty and honor. I can only take it bravely. Shortly after arriving at the dunes, as expected, the Atreides family was attacked by surprise. This is actually the Emperor's Sudoka army, secretly joined forces with Harkonnen's army, the genocidal war against the Atreides. That battle, Duke Atreides was brutally murdered. Only the heir to the throne, Paul, remains. Escaped from death with his mother, they head towards the unfathomable desert. Paul decided to seek help from the Dune Aboriginal people. For hundreds of years, Aboriginal people have been fighting the Harkonnen, only with their strength. Only then can Paul avenge his family. The man at the beginning of the video is Paul. Paul was more than just a prince. At the same time, it was also in the context of the cosmic empire culture at that time. A prophecy that has been sung for thousands of years. Chosen son. That is the savior. This rumor was started by a powerful mysterious group at the time, Bene Gesserit Sisterhood, paved with great care and every century. This sisterhood is ostensibly a holy organization. In essence, it is a political gang that secretly wields power. For the empire, use faith to control people's hearts. They consist only of women. The members continued to take spices, gradually gain control of powerful abilities. The most terrifying thing among them is the power of voice. They use a unique voice, control others to do what they tell them to do. A long time ago, the sisterhood was legendary in various parts of the universe. There will be a savior in the future, Quesac Hard Luck, meaning a person who can travel through time and space. This man has a very strong spirit, can break through time and space, see the past and foresee the future. He can lead the whole world out of suffering. Paul's mother was a member of the Bene Gesserit Sisterhood, although the sororities never accept women but not men. But Paul's mother just broke the rules, taught his son the superpower of voice. Give me water. She believed her son would be the prophesied savior. Also train him according to this prophecy. Paul had great expectations. He is indeed gifted. He has shown extraordinary courage and foresight since he was a child. I also have a lot of dreams, dreaming about things he has never seen before, even dreaming about the future. The above is the plot of the first part of Dune. In the upcoming Dune 2, the troubled prince will launch his all-out counterattack. Paul wants to avenge his family and fight for freedom for the indigenous people. He also wants to subvert the imperial power for thousands of human beings in the universe. This road is long and difficult. In Dune 2, we'll follow Paul's perspective. See how he controls the sandworm. Controlling sandworms is a unique skill of the Dune natives. Interestingly, it's very low-tech, only related to agile animal instincts. It's very simple to say. Just use a special tool, hooked on sandworm scales. As sandworms travel across the desert, turn over its hard and sealed scales, allowing sand to invade the sensitive skin of sandworms. Sandworms protect skin from sand damage. Will roll the body. In this way, turning according to human will. Such a person who controls the sandworm with only 4 ounces of weight. It's Sandworm Night. In Dune 2, we'll also delve deeper into various aspects of the Freemen. See the collision of their faith in the Savior, or the cooperation and awe of sandworms. Fight side by side to resist foreign enemies. The enigmatic sisterhood. The mystery will gradually be revealed in this work. Paul's mother Jessica has tattoos all over her face. This just confirms the vision Paul saw before. She wears gorgeous clothes, become the legendary Madonna. And those behind, the members of the Emperor's family who silently control all this. They will also be displayed one by one in front of everyone. In the Harkonnen family, most notable new character, nephew of Baron Harkonnen, Fedrosa Harkonnen. Fader looks stable, proficient, and obsessed with fighting. He's a crazy fighter in the ring. He and Paul's duel at sunset, silhouettes intertwined, fully demonstrate the legends behind the two characters, and the forces they represent. It will bring a more exciting and violent aesthetic viewing experience. Dune directed by Denis Villeneuve. Past sci-fi films Arrival Blade Runner 2049 has proven him extremely good at using unique visual aesthetics, bring a shocking screen experience to the audience. In Dune Part 1, such is the debut of Sandworm, Duke Atreides, who just arrived on the planet Dune. The first time I came to the spice collection field, but inadvertently discovered the sandworm moving forward in the distance. At first, there was dust flying in the picture. Seems far away. It seems like nothing. The incense truck has to work until the second before the sandworms arrive. Everyone would think there was still plenty of time to escape. Unexpectedly, the carrier aircraft suddenly broke down. At this time, the sandworms gradually approached. Everyone started to panic. At the critical moment, the Duke ordered the accompanying ornithopter to launch a rescue. Until then, we only compared the size with the human body. Understand the huge size of the incense cart. Sandworms are about to arrive. It suddenly exploded out of the ground, throwing up a lot of yellow sand. The reconnaissance plane was instantly submerged. At this time, Paul was disturbed by the spices in the sand and lost his mind. The group was about to leave, but there was no sign of Paul. Fortunately, someone arrived in time to wake him up. The sandworms have arrived. They ran all the way, being knocked down by the huge vibration caused by sandworms rushing out of the ground. The sand surface sinks. They were also gradually sucked into the sand. At this time, the incense cart in the distance had tilted. At the critical moment, Ornithopter opens hatch. They tried their best to run in the end and finally saved the day. As the height rises, the true face of the sandworm finally appears. The shock of this scene, from far to near, from movement to stillness. A turtle is startled and stopped at the click of a button. The sandworm never showed its full face, but we all remember its courage. This scene shows the director's control of the scene, the ability to deliver shock. 3 years later, we're finally getting to know sandworms comprehensively. And the style director who pioneered a new look in Hollywood science fiction movies, Denis Villeneuve, on the basis of continuing the aesthetic style of the first Dune. Returning with the original production team, there are also new Hollywood celebrities joining. From visual wonders that are based on nature but not like the nature around us. Explore topics such as destiny, history, and human nature in depth. Let the audience experience an unprecedented and unique experience on the big screen. In particular, the much-anticipated plot of a giant sandworm team dominating the battlefield. I believe it will become one of the classic scenes on the big screen in 2024. Recommend everyone to go to the cinema to watch.